Hi guys, Lazy here, and thank you very much for joining me on this Q&A video that has been a long time coming. I meant to make this video quite a while ago, but YouTube drama, kept getting in the way. So now we're here, and I asked a bunch of you who follow me on Facebook and Twitter to literally ask me anything, and I'm gonna try get through as many of those questions as I possibly can. In a fairly short video, I'm not gonna try let this run on too long because I have a tendency of, running off on a tangent. So we're gonna start with some of the more general questions that lots of people ask me and then get to more specific stuff. So probably the question that I got asked the most was the origin of my username, Lazy Masquerade. And there is a story behind that. It's not a massively interesting story, but there is one. Back in the early days of YouTube when I started YouTube back in 2006, if you can believe it. I made an account called Ailingator77. And I didn't upload any videos until a couple of years ago, I suppose. And those were mostly crappy little short films that I'd make with my friends. And we'd make them really cheaply, zero budget. We didn't plan for them to be good or anything. In fact, we kind of planned for them to be bad. That was our style. We liked that, trashy B-movie kind of thing. We never had a script, we never prepared anything. We'd just turn up at my friend's house and we'd run around his woods with a camera, making it up as we went along. And so we made these short films very, sloppily, didn't put much effort into them. And I was always the one filming and, just behind the camera telling everyone what to do. I'm not a particularly controlling person, not really. But when we were doing that, I took the helm. And my friends always refused to have their face shown on camera, so we'd always have to put masks on them and we'd try work around that. In fact, if you go and look at the very first video on my channel, it's called Breathers. I left it up on the channel. I don't know why, I just felt like leaving it up. And that's actually one of the films that we made running around the woods. We made that in like an hour, I think. We spent barely any time on it. But yeah, I go by the name, I changed my username to Lazy Masquerade because, that was our production team name back then, because we made all the videos so lazily, and my friends refused to show their face on camera, so hey, it was a masquerade, I guess. It's not the most entertaining backstory, but it has a personal charm to me, Brings back good nostalgic memories. Another general question which I got asked quite a lot was about my hobbies, or whether YouTube, whether YouTube is my only hobby, and no, far from it. I have quite a few hobbies actually, predominantly, music. Not only listening to music, but I play it a lot as well. I play guitar, drums, and I tried to learn saxophone. That's not going so well, but keep on keeping on. I keep trying at it. And maybe one day, you never know, I'll master it. Because, I love rock music, but I really love jazz as well. And I'd love to be able to play the saxophone, really, actually. And I'd love to get better at piano as well. But yeah, music is a big part of my life. And so are movies, I love I'm a big film buff. And that takes up a lot of my time as well, But yeah, not just YouTube, I'm a man of variety. What can I say? I also get asked a lot about advice that I can give to anyone who wants to start their own horror narration channel or something like that. And what equipment I use and things like that. So my advice to anyone who wants to start a channel would be, firstly, have a decent quality mic. You haven't got to have, a professional setup or anything, but definitely invest in a microphone of some kind. You don't want to be recording into your iPhone or anything like that, I'd say. And you can get some quite good gear going for quite a cheap price now. In the Christmas sale, that would have been a really good time to invest actually. But those have passed now. But you can still get things like, the Blue Yeti. That's decently priced. I've never used it myself, but I've heard great things. Personally, I use an SE2200A, and I run that through a Zoom H4n. That's the Phantom Power unit. And I edit in Audacity for the audio and Adobe Premiere Pro CS6, which I had because, I used to make those little films that I just talked about before, and I'd edit those in that program. But the main piece of advice that I can give, I think, to anyone who wants to start a channel is just to stay dedicated, Because what I see a lot of smaller YouTube channels do, and what happens is, I don't think they get as many subscribers as quickly as they think they should get them. You gotta be realistic when you go in. You're not gonna make one video and then overnight have 100,000 subscribers. You've really got to stay dedicated and keep producing those videos at a consistent, consistent rate, and keep the subscribers that you do gain interested in your content. And, over time, you're almost bound to, get a cult following going. I think it's difficult not to if you stay dedicated and keep producing the kind of content that you want to see. Always make the kind of content you want to see on YouTube. That's what got me started in the first place, back in the early days before all these true horror story narration channels were around. It was just Mr. Nightmare and Top 15s doing these true story videos. And I used to listen to those at night, and I really digged them. And I always wanted to hear some more true stories. And I looked around on YouTube, and there just wasn't any content going. There was very few videos back then when I started. And so I thought to myself, well, no one else is filling this gap, why don't I jump in now? Because surely some other people, I can't be the only person on YouTube screaming, I want more of this content. But yeah, basically, stay dedicated to your channel, keep grinding at it, and you're almost bound to get a following going. Okay, let's get a bit more specific. Sorry if I butcher any of your names while I'm reading them out. So, Shamal asks, would you rather fight a horse-sized duck or 20 duck-sized horses? I knew this question was going to come up. I think at this point it's inevitable that someone's going to ask you that. But obviously, everyone has their answer. And I do as well. I've thought long and hard about this, and I tell you, I'm going for the 20 duck-sized horses. It's clearly the better option. Simply because horses, they're a cowardly animal. And it doesn't matter if there's 20 of them, they can surround you and everything, but you take one of those little bastards down and I tell you, they'll all go running for the hills. Whereas a duck's a territorial animal. Those guys are crazy. If they come at you, I don't know, if he's the size of a horse, you're kind of screwed. You can't take that down. Now, I'm working on the assumption that I'm unarmed. And if you got a duck the size of a horse coming at you, full throttle, you're not going to take that down with one punch. It's impossible. Whereas little duck-sized horses, you kick one out the way, they all go running. They'll all go running for the hills. So to me, it's a pretty clear-cut argument. There's no debate about this. Sorted. That's scientifically proven now. I'm saying it. We're calling that lazy theorem. Case closed. Okay, the next question is from Luke, who asks, would you rather fight a bear-sized badger or fight a badger-sized bear? I'm starting to see a theme running through these questions here. And I'm also starting to notice that a badger is becoming the unofficial mascot of this channel. They just keep creeping up everywhere. Bloody pictures, questions. Okay, anyway, well, this is a lot harder, actually. Because a badger and a bear, they're both going to take down a human. I mean, if the badger's the size of a bear, is it a honey badger? Those guys are ferocious. They'll tear you apart. And as for little bears the size of badgers, well, if there's enough of those, they're going to take you down, man. But I'm assuming from the way he's phrased this question, there's only one badger-sized bear. Which I'm going to say is the better option here. But then again, a badger's not a tiny animal. I mean, they're quite small, but if you compact a bear into that size, I still think you might lose. I think I'm screwed whatever I pick, so I'm going to skip that question and not give it an answer. Screw you, Luke. Let's get more topical, Lauren asks, does reading all of these creepy stories affect you in any way? Like, do you try and do something more uplifting after making a video? I'd say, well, no, I don't think they do. I'm a fairly stable person, I hope. I don't know, listening to all these stories, reading them and narrating them. I don't think I've become demented in the process. I hope not anyway. My friends might say otherwise. But no, I just act the same as I did before I made these videos. I'm a fairly relaxed, casual person, nothing really phases me that much in horror or anything like that. I know some people get really jumpy, paranoid, etc. Not me. Amber says, I have always wanted to go to England for a visit or even live there. I love the accent. Oh, thank you. So my question is, would you ever visit America on holiday? If so, where would you go? Well, yeah, of course. I've never been to America, and it's really one of my top destinations to visit. I lived in Asia before, and I really loved Asia, so America's the next big target, I suppose. And, aside from the obvious, California and New York, those are the two big destinations that the English think of when they go to America. But the one that I really, really want to go to, it's a place in Texas, actually. And that is Houston, believe it or not. I really want to go to Houston. I've heard it's the restaurant capital of America, right? And I love me some food. And I like the idea of Texas, It kind of has that image abroad of being like the gun-toting, cowboy state. Yes, those were special sound effects. But to me, it's kind of cool. I have a nice vision of it in my head. Maybe I romanticized it by watching a lot of old Western movies. But either way, I really want to go to Houston. And I'm sure, I hope I'm not butchering these names, by the way. Houston? It's not Houston, is it? Houston, yeah. And, but yeah, Houston. I want to go to Chicago as well. I want to try some deep dish pizza. That'd be awesome. I want to drive along Route 66. That'd be cool. And, yeah, you know, check out the Grand Canyon. I want to go all over. Anyway, Hawaii. That'd be nice. Okay, next question is from Suyin. And Suyin asks, would you rather be a lonely leprechaun or a hunted unicorn? A lonely leprechaun or a hunted unicorn? Well, I'd say it's pretty obviously the hunted unicorn, of course. A lonely leprechaun, that's just depressing. Fucking hell, who would pick that? I mean, yeah, on the one hand, if you're the unicorn, you're being hunted, I'm assuming to the death, but the lonely leprechaun? I mean, he's lived for nothing. Like, who's gonna remember him? At least if they get the unicorn, if I'm the unicorn and they kill me, they'll be like, oh shit, he put up a fight, you know? If you're the lonely leprechaun, no one's gonna remember you. That's just sad. Plus, a unicorn is majestic as fuck, so that's pretty clear cut. That suits my debonair nature. So there you go, Suyin. Hope that answers your question. Boing. Next one. Josh asks, what's with me today? I'm kind of giddy. I think I'm a little nervous recording this because I'm so not used to just riffing into the microphone. Okay, Josh asks, a violent psychopath kidnaps you and straps you to an operating table in his torture dungeon. I like where this is going. And then he promises to release you if you choose one of the following options. Would you rather have your arms severed from your body or your legs chopped off? What do you do? What do you do? Emphasize there in capital letters. That's kind of a fucked up question, Josh, I'm not gonna lie. But I guess I'd rather lose my legs, I guess? I mean, you can still use a wheelchair, I suppose. If you lose your arms, you can't pick up anything. I guess that's more useful? I don't know, I'd rather not lose either, to be honest. Dark question. Let's hope this gets lighter. Okay, Reese asks, what's your favourite creepypasta? Good question, Reese. I'm glad someone asked me that. I was hoping they would. Because I never really get a chance to talk about creepypastas on my channel, do I? But I really do like them, you know, I don't get a chance to narrate them, but I am a big fan of creepypastas. And off the top of my head, you know, some of my favourite ones would be Blue Light. Blue Light's a good one. I really like Candle Cove. And if you actually want to hear me join in a Candle Cove narration, go on over to King Spook's channel. I actually joined in on a video with him where I narrate one of the parts. And I even get the end lines where I reveal the twist. I am the M. Night Shyamalan of that video. Oh, what a twist. But other than that, I also like, let me think, there's so many, you know. Where Bad Kids Go, that's a great one. Barbie.avi, is it .avi? Yeah, I think so. I like that one as well, just because it's kind of ambiguous, that's a great one. Normal Porn for Normal People, The Never Ending Road. One that I really do like is Dancing Down an Indian Hallway in Darkness. I'm fairly confident that's the title. But yeah, that's a really good one. That's one that really got me into creepypastas, actually. You know, other than, you know, when I first started out, I had the usual Squidward Suicide, Smile Dog. Yeah, I kind of grew out of those ones. But yeah, the ones I named, Killswitch is a good one. But yeah, all of those ones, I really, really am a fan of. Abysai asks, I'm sorry if I butchered your name, if you could choose between world peace and Bill Gates' fortune, what color would your Lamborghini be? Vomit green. Baptism on Fire asks, would you rather have the outer layer of your skin peeled off and then be boiled alive, slowly cooking your insides, or be trapped in a small barrel that slowly fills up with cement, internally burning you as it covers your body and sets with you drowning in it? Asking for a friend. Fucking hell. I don't know how to answer that. That's a lose-lose situation right there. I mean, I guess the barrel? Caitlin asks, would you rather have cuts all over your body and be thrown into a pool of lemon juice with no escape, or be tied upside down, skinned alive, and have someone throw you into a pile of salt? What's wrong with you people? Jesus! Well, the cuts, obviously. I don't want to be skinned alive. Next question. Jesus! Joseph asks, would you rather fall face first into a pile of dog shit or be forced to watch PewDiePie videos for 4 hours straight? Well, I mean, PewDiePie's not that bad. I mean, he's kind of you know, lowest common denominator gaming comedy, but at the same time, you know, it's kind of entertaining. I can kind of dig it. I kind of like PewDiePie, actually. I'm gonna get some hate for that one, I bet. But yeah, PewDiePie, obviously, I don't want to fall in dog shit. I love how these questions have absolutely nothing to do with the horror stories. It's brilliant. They're just wild cards. This has turned into the Q&A no one expected, especially me. Ray asks, would you rather live in a fantasy world, but you must start out with nothing, or live in a sci-fi world and you can only start out with $5 and novice armor? I love the fact that he assumes I'm gonna need armor living in this world. What? I'm just automatically a soldier in these worlds? And I get $5 in the sci-fi? Well, I'll go for the sci-fi because I get free $5, and in the fantasy I get nothing, so, well, I guess, yeah, sci-fi. That $5 can get you a long way. Plus, if it's sci-fi, you should really be calling it credits. That's the dull, generic name for all future money, isn't it? Credits. Plus, I'd rather live in a futuristic, environment than go into a fantasy, Lord of the Rings type land. A lot of people will disagree with that, but if you think about it, I'd rather live in now than in medieval times. I'm a man of the future. I'm forward thinking. Plan for your future, kids, because no one else will. Veronica asks, Veronica? Veronica. In my defense, that is spelled Vero-Nika. Damn you, you've made me look like a fool. Veronica asks, what is your favorite horror movie? The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing, not the modern one. John Carpenter's The Thing. Boyd asks, would you rather have a holiday to Australia and meet your fans out there, or a holiday to a nice secluded cabin in Europe? Well, seeing as I've lived in Europe for so long, I'd rather go to Australia. Actually, one of the things I really want to do in life, before I get too old and while I still have some time, is to go, get one of those VW camper vans, the notoriously unreliable vehicles, and just drive around as much of the coastline of Australia as possible. I'd like to start in the east and go around to the west coast. I really think that would be a great trip. And I wouldn't be one of those fools who drives into the mainland and gets lost and their car breaks down and they, bloody fucking die out there. That would hopefully not be me, but I do have a habit of just going on a whim and doing something completely random, and usually with catastrophic and hilarious consequences. But yeah, Australia for sure. Josh has a question, and he asks, would you rather live as long as you choose by transferring your consciousness into a cybernetic body of your design, or have your consciousness transferred whenever you desire into a clone baby and live another human life cycle? Oh, that's bloody philosophical. That's getting deep, man. Good question, Josh. I really like that one, actually. So basically the question is, would I rather live as myself for as long as I want kind of thing, or just relive life over and over as a different person? I'm assuming, well, no, it says my consciousness transfers, so I'd still be aware? I'm assuming I wouldn't be aware. You're asking me if I want to continue living indefinitely or relive multiple times as different people. And I guess I'd go for the latter option. I'd rather live different lives, because I'm sure by the time you hit the 150, you'll be bored of this one life anyway, and you'll want to be signed somewhere else, be signed different. So yeah, I'd rather live multiple lives. I think this Q&A is going alright so far. I'm not doing too bad, am I? It's probably half of you are probably tuned off, the other half probably not even listening anymore. So I'm gonna go wild now. Jessica asks, the angel of death has descended upon you. Fortunately, the angel is in a pretty good mood and it offers you a half an hour to do whatever you want before you die. What do you do with that half an hour? Everyone knows the answer to that. Okay, Alex asks, would you rather be launched in the air really high with no parachute, or be sunk underwater really deep with no breathing apparatus? Well, I die either way. What is it? I guess the plane, because you can go out like a badass, flying through the skies. That'd be pretty cool. Louisa asks, would you ever make a Snapchat to interact with your fans, like Corpse Husband has? Why, yes I would. And I actually have, I just haven't made it public yet. I'm still learning the Snapchat ropes, if you will. I still don't really get it. I don't get the major point of it, but I guess I'll give out my information here. I'll put it on the screen. I'm assuming it's on the screen now, unless I completely forgot to add it in which case everyone laugh at me in the comments because clearly I don't pay enough attention during editing. editing, I'm losing my voice. Okay, Rain from Rainbot Horror, the YouTube channel, asks, what's your best childhood memory? Smoking that spleef. No, I don't do drugs, kids. My best childhood memory, probably... I don't know, that's a big question. I really should have prepared answers for these. I don't know, probably just watching Nickelodeon, Kenan and Kel. That's bloody depressing. What's your best childhood memory? Watching Kenan and Kel. Christ, I rewatched that the other day and it is atrocious. I can't believe I liked it. But that was a big part of my childhood. I loved Kenan and Kel growing up. Big respect to you, Kenan and Kel. Okay, Kaylee asks, I want to know if you have any pets. That's very demanding, Kaylee. Maybe I don't want to tell you, but I will. I have 2 dogs, Honey and Mia, named after the Pulp Fiction characters. Unintentionally, that was subconscious. We got Honey first, she's the ginger one, obviously, and Mia, she's the black spaniel with the floppy ears there. Connor asks, would you rather be put into the last video game you played or the creepiest story you ever told us about? What's the last game I played? Shogun 2, Total War. Well, I guess that'd be alright. Or the creepiest story you've told us. Well, what's the creepiest story I told you? Everyone's got a different opinion on that, don't they? One of the creepiest ones, I don't know. People actually... I've got more of a chance of surviving a story, I suppose, than a full-blown total war as a samurai. Plus in that game, everyone's very cavalier with the soldiers' lives. No one really gives a damn, do they? I always throw my soldiers in. It's a massacre. So I would go in the scariest story I ever told, but I can't even tell you which story that is. Macomara. Hey, Macomara. I'm assuming you're Italian. I don't know why. It doesn't even sound Italian. Macomara asks, if I've seen your face already on another channel and your water challenge, but the question is, are you ever going to do an official face reveal? And what's the story behind it? By the way, I think having the face mystery is awesome. Thank you, Macomara. Well, yeah, you know, I've got no qualms with doing a official face reveal, obviously, because, you know, the second video on my channel before I even started doing these horror narrations is a face reveal of me, the Ice Bucket Challenge. So, you know, I don't care if people know what I look like. You know, some people would rather not see my face. And that's kind of why I've held off officially showing it properly in a video, you know, having a proper face reveal. Because some people like the mystery of it, like you said at the end of your question. But I've got no problem with breaking that, you know, breaking that boundary. Can you call it a boundary? I'm calling it a boundary. But yeah, in the future, maybe. I was thinking about actually making a video gaming YouTube channel, like a Let's Play channel. And I'd probably get a webcam for that and show my face. So, I don't know, I'll give people the option. If they want to see my face, they can join me on my other channels that I make in the future. If they don't, I probably won't show any more of my face on this channel. I'm not making any promises. Bryson asks, hey Lazy, what was your favourite subject in school? Probably history. I liked history. Drama was good as well, and art, you know, the lazy subjects and history. I was bloody awful at maths and science, so not those. Matt asks, do you personally know any other scary story channels? Yes, I do. The only one I do know personally is Phantasmal Wretched. Everyone else, you know, all the other ones like Corpse Husband, Bee Buster, I've talked to them over Twitter and Facebook and stuff. We've never actually officially talked, you know, in Skype calls or anything like that, which is a shame, but I'm a shy person, so I get social anxiety problems even over the phone and stuff like that, so maybe that's for the best. I don't know, but Phantasmal Wretched, he's a small channel, most of you probably don't know him, but most of you have probably actually heard his voice on some of my other videos, and you can actually hear bloopers of the two of us over on my second channel, The Lazy Masquerader, where we're having a good time. He does the majority of the jokes in that. I'm more in the background laughing at him rather than with him. But yeah, he's a good guy, and check out his channel. I'm gonna plug you, Phantasmal. I'm gonna plug you. Give you some of those juicy subscribers. Sabra asks, do you have any brothers and sisters? What do they think of your channel? And what do your parents think? Yes, I do. And everyone is supportive of it. I can't really answer it better than that. I have one brother and 2 sisters. Jade asks, would you rather talk to animals or talk to spirits? Well, spirits, I suppose, because one, animals probably don't really have anything interesting to say other than, hungry, walk me, shit like that. So, unless you're encountering like a wild lion who you could negotiate with potentially, but even then they're not going to listen to you, are they? They're just going to bloody eat you, it doesn't matter what you say to them. So I guess spirits, because then I could at least make, some interesting YouTube videos out of them, I guess. Byron asks, would you rather date a YouTuber or a celebrity? Byron, at this point, I'll take whatever I can get. Well, obviously a YouTuber can be a celebrity, can't they? I guess a YouTuber, because we'd have something, in common. We could discuss, our channels. We could even do crossovers. Plus, she could change her name to Lady Masquerade, and that would be badass as fuck. So, I guess a YouTuber would be quite cool, I guess. Mutual ground, I suppose. Haley, or Hallie, I'm not sure which, they ask, what's your favourite ice cream? Vanilla, probably? Not too sure. I like to keep things simple. I like my ice cream how I like my World of Warcraft. Vanilla, baby. Use that line and you nerds will get all the babes, believe me. You'll get all the YouTube babes you want. Trust me, I'm a professional. And final question, one more to go, because this video is getting quite long now actually. Final question is from Daniel, who asks, would you rather eat a cactus or eat a fresh turd? Now, I'm glad we're ending this on a classy note. And I guess well, I'm not gonna eat a fresh turd, am I? That's got diseases. But have I gotta eat a whole cactus? That's like impossible. You'd probably die. Well, I'm gonna say the cactus because I don't want to forever be known as the guy who ate a fresh turd. And believe me, no matter how you cook it, a turd is never fresh, Daniel. That's some sage knowledge for you there. Anyway, on that note, I'd say we're probably done here. And if you've stuck around for this long, I mean, what's wrong with you? Number one, what's wrong with you? Number two, everyone else has gone. I don't know what you're still doing here. But thanks for sticking around either way. You are legendary, and thank you everyone for listening. I'm really, again, thankful for all the subscribers and all the support I've had for this channel so far. You're all total dons, to be honest. And I can't sing your praises enough. Thank you so much, Lazy Legion. You are total ballers, and I'll have another video for you guys very, very soon. But until then, guys, stay spooky, and as always, remember, the best things happen in the dark. Ciao, ciao.